and tricks. Tips and tricks. Do you wanna know how to improve your digital skills? Well, then this is the right podcast, the podcast of Jenny 2024. Are you following? No, I know you're following the podcast. What I say is, are you following our channel on YouTube, on Spotify? And more than follow, what you need to do, you need to like and share tips and tricks. Who are we going to ask those tips and tricks today? Well, we are going to ask it to Rosina Preis, who is the Competence and Knowledge Manager for EU projects at EIT Manufacturing. And EIT Manufacturing is a great partner of JA across Europe, as well as partner of Gen E 2024. Hello, Rosina. Ciao.
Hi, Salvatore. We're so happy to be a part of the JA Europe ecosystem. Hi, everyone.
I'm so happy to have you here. I want to learn a little bit more about you, not only about the EIT manufacturing. So, but tell me a little bit. I mean, we're all talking about digital, we're all talking about digital technology in European manufacturing, but what the young people should focus on the learning itself?
Well, that's a broad question because where do I start? There is so much out there, right? There are a lot of emerging digital technologies that young people could and should focus on learning. So, for example, I was a history teacher in another life, way back. So it's fascinating to me how much we've relied on technology throughout history and how it has been the catalyst for big developments and ages. So for sure, the type of tech has evolved, especially in the last century, but the idea essentially remains the same. We are using tech to make our life easier. And that's what the industrial revolutions were about. So huge shifts in tech that transformed how we make stuff, right? I'm sure the students listening have fought their way through their industrial revolution class in history, and they've likely learned about the first three industrial revolutions that were triggered by coal, oil, nuclear energy. However, the fourth industrial revolution was triggered by the internet. So we are actually at the moment in the fourth industrial revolution, and there are new technological advancements every day. In manufacturing, we call that Industry 4.0, and it's all about digitalizing manufacturing processes. So that is AI, robotics, big data, Internet of Things. So let's get back to the question. What are a few
Internet of Things? No, wait a second. Internet of Things. Many people say IoT, Internet of Things. Very few of our, specialists know. But what is this Internet of Things? What is IoT?
The Internet of Things, IoT, is basically making it possible for machines to communicate with each other and to gather data in real time. So it's not the difference from the internet everybody knows, but it's actually focused on things, Internet of Things.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So it's not only us talking to machine talking to us. That's machine talking to each other and sharing data with the generative AI now. Wow, this is becoming more and more creative too in the manufacturing itself.
Exactly. I mean, everybody knows things like ChatGPT, Oracle. This AI that is now in everybody's mouth, it is increasingly being integrated in manufacturing processes as well. And so it helps streamlining production, predict any maintenance needs you might have, or quality control. So AI is becoming increasingly important everywhere, but also in manufacturing.
Love the fact that you were a history teacher in your life. You know what my lemma is? Of course, all of our followers know that my lemma is, if you want to design the future, look at your past. There is already so much done there. So it's about transformation of what we learned from the past. And now how young individual can benefit from this transformation.
Well, there are many things where young people can benefit from this. So the most important thing is, for me as a former teacher and as a knowledge manager, are the opportunities for skill developing. So you could learn programming, you could learn about data analysis, you can learn about robotics, and that can lead to a very exciting career in manufacturing. Also, something that JA Europe and EIT Manufacturing has in common is that we foster entrepreneurship. So that is a big point of us, where the digital transformation is actually lowering the barriers to entry. And young entrepreneurs can use these technologies to develop innovative products and reach global markets more easily. So you can definitely see that 20 years ago, it was harder to reach an international market than it is today, even just with social media. So that is a huge barrier that is basically broken down. Also, another important point is the job market. Manufacturing is going digital, so there's a growing demand for skilled
It's
workers.
important. Wait a second, because people think always, well, manufacturing, it's nothing related to digital. It is completely related to digital. We have to take off those, people who have some prejudice here. Absolutely no. A career in manufacturing is also a career in digital, isn't it?
Exactly. And a lot of people think of manufacturing as still being on the shop floor and doing all this manual work. But that is not what it is anymore, not at all. I remember when we were talking about robotics a few years ago, and people were still scared of them taking away jobs and replacing people in their jobs. But what we know now is that they make the processes easier, and that there are new job opportunities, and things like programming are becoming more important. So it is definitely a shift in where we're going in the job market, but it is becoming more productive, and there's no need to be afraid. There's just a need to get educated.
But you also touched upon something about the job market, right? Say people are afraid for any industrial revolution, technological industrial revolution. We always said the machine are going to take our place, are going to take our job, and now it's AI is going to take our job. I always believe that actually someone who knows about AI is going to take your job if you don't know about it, right? Not the machine itself. So you should be more worried of that. You need to be upskilled with the new trend. You need to understand how the world was, isn't that? Or what do you think about this?
I completely agree. And it doesn't mean you have to be able to program your own AI. That, of course, that is very high level, and that is not something that everybody will be able to do. However, it is very important to understand the foundation of it, to understand how to use it, how to write the correct prompts, and then maybe find your niche that you're working in and find a way to incorporate AI and make your processes more efficient, make it easier for you to focus on the stuff that you want to be focusing on, and let AI work for you.
The process, as you rightly say, the process are important in the whole manufacturing, right? So same things is for your own work. What are the things that are going to simplify your problem, your process, and especially what are the things that you do not want to do it, right? So my little son, he went through JE programs, and now he wants to become entrepreneur. He's 8 years old. Then he went to robotics, so he's playing with the Legos, right, and the robotics. And now he wants to create a robot that does the things he doesn't want to do it. So imagine that, right? Make up my bed. And we need to instill into these young people, but how they can prioritize, what kind of skills they want when they want to enter into the manufacturing industry.
That is the question, right? What happens when you do want to enter this industry? How do you do it? Where to start? So before, as we said, not everybody is going to be able to program AI. So before you dive into machine learning and big data, I think it's crucial to build a solid foundation on information and data literacy. So there is no limit to how far you can aim, but make sure you got the right foundations. So, for example, you could go to the Europass website, and they have a digital skills test that you can take. And it's a quick way to pinpoint areas where you might need improvement. And you can actually type in your dream job and take this test and see where you're still lacking. And if you've identified those areas, you can consider all options like vocational training. university courses, online classes that fit your schedule, or just YouTube videos. Don't be afraid of YouTube. You can find great educational content everywhere.
So once again, you do have to look at the past, but you also have to look at the foundational ground, right? When start doing with your assessment, where do I stand? Where is my place? And how I can dream high, upskill, upskill myself. We also touched upon, obviously, the awards this year. It's about green manufacturing, right? You have beautiful green now behind you. So why it's so important, those digital, but also those green, when we talk about manufacturing?
Yes, this is very important for us. We've been a partner with JA Europe for a while now, and this Green Manufacturing Award is very near and dear to our hearts. And we are very happy with this collaboration. And we are very happy with the interest in this award. Green manufacturing is the future. Sustainability is the future. We cannot keep using resources and worry about that in a few generations. No, the time is now to change things, and the next generation will be the one to change this. I truly believe this. So we're very happy to see the big interest in this award last year and this year. I hear there is a lot of applications. So we are very happy to see all of them, and I'm sure we will see innovative ideas on the way.
We had a lot of interest about the Green Manufacturing Award. Absolutely. We saw these young people, and it comes from them. We really, at JA, we're not really need to push, because it really comes more and more. We see that those mini companies, those enterprise, they capture sustainability elements, they capture digital elements in the way they work. I'm traveling only in the months of May and June in over 20 countries, seeing all our national many of our national finance. I cannot go to all, many of our national finance, and I'm always inspired by those young people on how do they always think how their products, their service will have an impact on the environment where they operate, having an impact in the community where they operate, and also how they can more and more integrate, this is evolving, integrating the digital skills. But when did you make that shift from history teacher to?
That was just 1.5 years ago, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So
I completely agree with you. What I see in my former students, but also in my nieces, my nephew, sustainability is such an important issue to the next generation. That is just something that is inherent to them, and that they question it at every turn. And I'm really proud of that generation, because I know it's been a fight in the last few decades to make this an important issue of policies internationally. But I think it's finally gotten its place, and I'm very, very hopeful that the JA Europe participants and the generation in itself will change things.
And it's about the youth, but you were, or you still are. You always, once you always are a teacher. And my mother is a teacher, right? So also this important stakeholders of JA in our ecosystem, right? We channel many of our programs thanks to the teacher. They're the ones making a significant impact. The educators that too often are neglected by big different policymakers, but they are at the backbone of our educational systems. So how do you feel also about improving and upskilling teachers to both digital skills, right? Not only about the youth, but also we need to have the teachers, especially now with the AI and generative AI.
Hmm, that's a very good question, because I think it's very crucial to do this. I was a teacher in Austria, and Austria has been, in international comparison, quite good in implementing digital competencies in the curriculum. However, we are still lagging behind. There's no way to make this prettier. We're still lagging behind. And a lot is put on the shoulders of teachers to teach digital
Work.
competencies,
Yeah.
and they're not getting the support they need. So what we need is more resources to teach the teachers how to teach this to students, to give them the resources of time, to work with the students on it, because there is so much interest in the student body. They want to learn about it. It's being a teacher and is the best job in the world if you have the time to be in it. I really loved doing it. So there's so much respect also to all the teachers working in the JA Europe program, and to take on this extra work of getting into it, getting taught how to go through the program, to work with their students outside of their working times, developing these great projects that are finished products, basically. So I have a lot of respect for them.
I do have a lot of respect. If you are one of the 150,000 teachers of JA in Europe, we really owe you huge respect. We're very thankful for all the support you are providing, not only with and for JA, but to the young generation. If you are not one of those 150,000, write it in the comment. Contact one of our JA members in over 40 countries across Europe, because you can be one of those who provide an impact to over 6 million young people every year. There is a full country out there, which is called the JA country in Europe. We are going towards the end of this amazing podcast with EIT Manufacturing with Rosina. Any final words, any final advice, any final tips and tricks to our young people?
Yes. For sure, there is so much out there that you can use, and that can get overwhelming. I know that. So if you are a student in school and you don't know where to get the resources, there is a lot out there. We've talked about the Deep Tech Talent Initiative that JA Europe is a part of. They're on a mission to train 1 million people in deep tech areas, offering a wealth of opportunities to explore courses about basically anything you can think of. That is one way. Another way is the Girls Go Circular project. That is also, JA Europe is working on that as well. Fantastic program. It's a free online program aimed at schoolgirls, 14 to 19, to teach digital and entrepreneurial skills with a focus on the circular economy, coming back to sustainability, with a really great hands-on approach. And that is a great program to support teachers during school. Also, go to your local makerspace. They often offer classes on using new tech and getting creative. There's a lot of EU projects out there that offer classes. For example, we're in the Pre-Meds project. It's about crafting innovative educational toolkits for predictive maintenance. You can find the project for you. In general, to sum up, prioritize learning versatile skills. Learn programming, data analysis, project management. Keep up with industry trends. Consider apprenticeships, internships. Remember, the job landscape is evolving fast, so staying educated on emerging technologies is key to staying relevant. A lot of students listening today will have jobs that you and we can't even think of. So stay connected, stay educated.
Stay connected, stay educated. Definitely tips and tricks that Rosina has given us. Thank you so much to you. Thank you so much to EIT Manufacturing. Hey, what do you need to do now? To share, you need to share. You need to share the podcast Jenny 2024 once again. We want to beat last year. We had over 24 million impressions on social media to go out with the Jenny hashtag. We want to go even bigger and higher this year, and we do it because we have great partners like EIT Manufacturing. Thank you so much, Rosina.
Thank you, Salvatore. Bye, everyone.